So my loves, gather around, because today we're diving into something that will have the UK tabloids clutching their oxygen tanks. Yes, Harry and Meghan have once again done that thing the royal family can never seem to fully grasp, showing up for people who actually need help, and the world is applauding their good work. Shocking, I know, revolutionary even. Somewhere right now, a Daily Mail editor is sweating through their polyester shirt thinking, but, we didn't approve this. Well, buckle up, because the Archwell Foundation just dropped a new update titled Honouring the Season Through Service. And let me tell you, it is wholesome, grounded, impactful, and the absolute opposite of the empty ribbon-cutting, plaque unveiling, I waved through a window so I deserve applause approach we always see from those other folks across the pond. Let's get into it. So here's what happened. Prince Harry, Duchess Meghan, and the Archwell team rolled up their sleeves and headed to Our Big Kitchen Los Angeles, OBKLA, a community-based hub that prepares meals for people experiencing food insecurity. No fancy gowns, no gilded carriages, no frantic palace aides rehearsing imaginary protocols, just real service, real compassion, real people helping real people. Harry and Meghan stepped into an actual kitchen, yes, the type with heat, food, spices and generosity, and joined volunteers to prepare and package meals that were then distributed to shelters, senior centres, community programmes, and people who simply needed a warm plate during the holiday season. This wasn't a PR stunt. This wasn't a photo op. This was service, the kind that feeds bellies and souls, not egos and tabloids. But oh, you just know the rota is already scrambling for their emergency narrative reversal kit. Meghan is holding the ladle wrong. Harry stirred too enthusiastically. They used the wrong kind of biodegradable container. The kitchen wasn't British enough. Give it 24 hours. We'll see it. But here's the part that makes it even sweeter. Archwell didn't do this for applause. They didn't send out a press blast announcing, "Look at us." They simply showed up and worked, quietly, consistently, compassionately. And sweetheart, that is exactly why it annoys the haters so much. Now let's pause here and talk about OBKLA, because this place isn't just a kitchen, it's a lifeline. They collaborate with local organisations to deliver meals to people dealing with homelessness, financial hardship, or family instability. They serve everyone from seniors who can't cook for themselves, to mothers fleeing dangerous situations, to young people who need support. And here come Harry and Meghan, not to take over, not to dominate, not to save the day, but simply to contribute, to uplift, to join hands. This is the style of leadership they've always embodied, by the way, the kind that whispers impact instead of shouting status. Something the monarchy unfortunately hasn't mastered. Ever. Let's go a little deeper, shall we? Because this isn't the first time Harry and Meghan have fed communities during the holidays. They have a long history of partnering with local kitchens, women's shelters, food banks, organisations supporting unhoused folks, and youth-focused non-profits. They don't just show up once a year when cameras are rolling, they show up consistently and without expecting anyone's approval. Meanwhile, the UK tabloids are over there writing 5 articles a day about how Meghan smiled wrong during a charity visit 6 years ago. Priorities, right? Now, the Archwell Post frames this whole moment as part of their ongoing commitment to putting compassion into action. And honestly, those words hit harder when you watch what they actually do. This is compassion in motion. Not symbolism, reality. Not palace photo ops, partnership. Not royal PR, community care. And the best part. Every time Archwell does something like this, it leaves royal commentators in pure agony. You can literally hear the gears grinding in their heads. But if the Sussexes are doing hands-on community work, what are our royals doing again? Ooh, the existential crisis is starting. Let me paint the picture even clearer. On one side, Harry and Meghan, cooking meals in a community kitchen, packaging food for vulnerable families, partnering with grassroots organisations, and putting their foundation's resources where their mouths are. On the other side, The British royal family sending out palace press releases like, "We baked a symbolic cake. We waved from a balcony. We are considering modernization. We wore a nice brooch. Look, we planted a tree. Again." Sweetie. One of these things is not like the other. Now, what does this actually mean for Harry and Meghan? Well, first, it reinforces exactly why millions of people support them. Because when you strip away the noise, the headlines, the haters, the royal gossip, the trolls, what remains is their actual work, their values, their priorities. People see that. People feel that. People connect to that. You can't fake genuine compassion. And you can't hide it either. Second, it builds Archwell's credibility further. A lot of foundations say they care. A lot of celebrities talk about making an impact, but not everyone picks up a ladle, ties an apron, and gets to work. Harry and Meghan do. And finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. This holiday season is especially difficult for many families. Economic pressures, rising housing costs, food insecurity, everything. So when public figures step up, not with words, but with action, it really does matter. Imagine if more high-profile people, even royal institutions, invested their time into local service like this. Imagine if instead of PR tours across the Commonwealth, they spent time feeding the people in those countries they claim to represent. Imagine the impact. But hey, easier to blame Meghan for the weather, right? By the way, can we note how comfortable Harry looks in these hands-on service spaces? This man was never meant to live behind palace walls polishing protocols. He thrives in community, in movement, in connection. It's literally who he has always been, long before Meghan, long before Archwell, long before the royal circus. And Meghan. She's always been a roll-up-your-sleeves-and-get-to-work kind of woman. Long before Harry, long before titles, long before the world tried to box her in. Together, they're unstoppable in this lane. So what's the takeaway today? Very simple. Service is not about status. It's about showing up. And Harry and Meghan keep showing up. Every single time. This is the kind of story that deserves headlines. This is the kind of work that deserves amplification. And this is the kind of impact that actually changes lives. No scandal, no drama, no palace intrigue, just kindness, action, and purpose. But don't worry, the trolls will still find a way to cry. Probably something like, "They were chopping carrots wrong," "outrage," or "the wokeism of stirring soup, unacceptable." Let them foam. We'll be over here celebrating real service. And there you have it, my loves. Archwell honouring the season through service, feeding communities, uplifting families, and once again reminding the world why Harry and Meghan are building something meaningful, far away from the chaos they escaped. Now don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, because you know the more we boost the truth, the harder it is for the tabloids to push their nonsense. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.